A small market in Baruipur in India's West Bengal state looks like any other neighborhood crossing. Shops, children, daily life. But police say this is where an 11-year-old girl was approached by men now accused of kidnapping, raping, and killing her. A day later, her body was found in a pond near her home. For her family and neighbors, the horror has turned a familiar place into a crime scene, and a private grief into a public demand for safety.
ওই স্কুলে আমার মেয়ে পড়তো, আমি চাইছি ওখান থেকে 3 কিলোমিটার পুরো সিসিটিভি লাগিয়ে দিই যাতে বাচ্চারা সুরক্ষায় ঘরে আসতে পারে আর কোনো না দ্বিতীয়বার কারোর মায়ের ফোন এরকমভাবে খালি হয়।
Her father says CCTV cameras should be installed within a 3-kilometer radius of her school so that children can make it home safely, and no other parent has to suffer what his family has.
जो घटना घटा है हम लोग के पहले कभी नहीं हुआ है ऐसा घटिया काम। कभी हम लोग सुने थे, देखा नहीं था, लेकिन हम लोग का इधर हो गया। बहुत नीच काम है, निकरजनक काज है, क्या बोले इसके।
The case has shocked Baruipur, but activists say the violence itself is not isolated. Across India, more than 80 rapes are reported to police every day, according to official crime data. Many more, they say, are never reported because survivors face shame, stigma, and victim blaming. In Kolkata, gender rights activist Satabdi Das says the problem goes beyond one party, one state, or one government.
Regime change is not the solution of the problem. We are fighting rape culture, not a particular government. And because we think that the rape culture is embedded in the people.
That is the deeper crisis activists point to. Patriarchy, misogyny, caste hierarchies, slow courts, and police systems that are often understaffed or poorly trained to handle sexual violence. Together, they say, these failures create a sense that perpetrators can escape justice. The case has also become politically explosive. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party recently came to power in West Bengal for the first time, with women's safety among its key promises.
Within 24 hours, 4 of the accused were arrested, and one was killed in an encounter because he tried to escape. So the message is very clear, from the government side, from the chief minister's side, that we are not going to tolerate any kind of nonsense, whoever you are, whichever party you belong to, whichever religion you belong to, but this will not be tolerated.
The government says the response was swift, but activists argue that arrests after a brutal crime are not enough. They say India's justice system must prevent violence, protect survivors, and deliver timely convictions.
The messaging, the larger social messaging is that, well, it's a crime, but it's not such a serious crime that you put somebody for a whole life in jail or you even give capital punishment for that. So that's on the one side. On the other side, that society itself is not really giving the level of respect to the dignity of women. So very easily it can be violated, and it doesn't make any difference to anybody, and that is why easily the crime is done. Justice process takes time, judicial process takes time, and then eventually, even when in some cases there is some kind of a punishment given, just the people go scot-free. So fear of law is not there.
India has changed its laws before. After the 2012 Delhi gang rape case, the country introduced tougher punishments and fast-track courts. But more than a decade later, the numbers remain grim. India recorded nearly 30,000 rape cases in 2024, while sexual offences against children under the POCSO law reached a record high.
One, that we need to have a proper police squad trained. We have to have proper forensic laboratories. We should be able to train our girls to report any kind of sexual advances that they may have experienced at any level, and also that political system, our governance system, our politicians should be more responsible and not politicize this issue. Instead, create systems and structures we can deliver justice to women quickly. Then only we will be able to control the rapes.
For campaigners, the demand is not just punishment after the fact. It is trained police, working forensic systems, courts that move quickly, and a society that treats violence against women and children as a national emergency, not a recurring headline. In Baruipur, daily life has resumed around the market, the school route, and the pond, but for one family, nothing is normal anymore. And for activists, the question is whether this case becomes another moment of outrage or the beginning of real reform.